Good morning, good morning, good morning, everyone. How's everyone doing today? We have Mo Gutman, Katie Sullivan, Rhonda Gutman, Sarah Castro is the standard cast of characters having a little bit of fun this morning with LoveJAAM. So today, just like every single Friday, 6 a.m., we are gonna do a little bit of play fighting, right? Because we need to talk. So, what is we need to talk? We need to talk is all about learning how to and really having a little bit of fun resolving pretend conflicts. Because if we get really good at play fighting, then when a fight comes up, it's not even a big deal. It's like, I already run this pattern. I do it every week. I do it over and over. And now, like this conflict comes up, I just go through the system and it makes it easy. Now, why does that really matter? Because conflict is what keeps us apart, especially if it's unresolved. That's how we build up walls between us. And that's what hurts our relationships. And even bigger than that, have you ever had that experience like when you're having a fight at home and then nothing else really works? Like maybe it's business. Business ends up getting hurt. You make less money. Your health goes down. Your heart rate goes up. Like all of these negative things occur simply because we have some unresolved issue between me and my loved one, or maybe it's even somebody else. The tools we work on here can help you out throughout your entire life. It's not just your intimate relationship. There's no reason I couldn't pick up a phone, talk to somebody and say, hey, I've got this thing going on. Let me talk to you about it. Follow the steps that we're going to talk about today. And it's resolved. And I can go about my day. So with that, we're going to have a little bit of fun today. And let's see, who should we feature today? Sarah, how about you make the call? Who should we feature today?
I would love to feature Mo. I haven't seen him in a while.
Mr. Mo Gutman. Outstanding. So Mo is driving. So we'll be very careful here. How about we do this? Mo, we'll avoid featuring you today only because you're driving. I'd rather you be safe. I did not notice you were driving. Let's switch over to who wants to go today? So Rhonda, are you driving also? Okay. Well, that only leaves one gentleman. Yes, you, Dr. Brian.
Not
Awesome. So, Dr. Brian, we had you on, I think it was last week also, and we got to learn a little bit about you. But just in case anyone missed last week's show, how about you give us your fun introduction now that you've seen how we like to do it, and you can give it with your movie guy voice.
Oh, I love your movie guy voice.
I am a sports chiropractor here in Woodbridge, Connecticut. I'm also a voiceover guy, and I do both jobs all the time. They're both side hustles, we'll call them that. And I try to practice the rapid repair method on a daily basis.
That is amazing. So, Dr. Brian, when we first met, you were kind of in a sticky wicket. You were in a tough spot, right?
Oh, it's still pretty sticky.
Yes. And yet, you've had some amazing things. I recall that one of your big goals from last year was to take a special trip. Why don't you tell us what happened with this special trip situation that you wanted to take so badly?
I think we're talking about the Legoland trip,
That is the
if I remember
one.
correctly. So, to summarize, I wanted to, as part of my relationship goal, to do something great for my kids. My son wanted to go to Legoland. Liza wanted to go to Legoland, and I said, "Okay, well, it's only over there in New York. Let's go." And there were some complications. You and I had a great conversation. You don't have to show love in such a complicated way. So I simplified the process. I made it little daddy-daughter and daddy-son dates throughout the quarter and since then. And then through some tenacious work with my kid's mom, we were able to schedule a trip together to Legoland Discovery in New York, and the kids had the most amazing time. Goal achieved.
It's extraordinary. And when we talk about this goal, the reason I love hearing this story every single time is we often create a belief, right, that a divorce is supposed to look a certain way and that it's supposed to be this big fight. And somehow you worked through that despite resistance within yourself, within your kid's mom and create an amazing experience for your children together. And to me, that's like world peace. You know, it's like deciding that somebody else is more important than my ego, and that you subjugated your ego in service. And it's a beautiful thing to hear that. And I know that you're not alone in that. We've had multiple people in this group that have had that same experience. And if we can do that with someone we're going through a divorce with, then by God, there is absolutely no reason for us to fight with people that we're totally in love with and intend to build an extraordinary life with. There's no reason we have to fight with someone at work. There's no reason we have to have big disagreements that go unresolved. We can solve anything, and the evidence is you. So thank you. I appreciate it.
Appreciate it, man. Thanks a lot.
And with that, how about we play a little game? You up for playing a little game, Dr. B?
Yes. Oh, so very ready.
Yes. The poor soul that gets to work with you. So we're going to play a little game of We Need to Talk. And Sara, let's pull up the big wheel. We'll put some names in there, even if they're driving in this case. But we love to have Dr. B work with somebody of the opposite gender.
Also, hi, Nancy. Great to see you here.
Yes, hi, Nancy.
When you play a game, you can turn on your camera. I know this is your first time, but Dr. Brian is actually very kind despite his threats.
It's a lot of fun working with Dr. B.
Be not afraid.
And is Katie, are you available to play?
They're all afraid.
They're afraid. They're all very afraid. All right, so it looks like
I'm here. I just was driving. I'm getting settled.
Okay.
Okay, we're all driving. I guess let's make it you want to do
Well, we're just gonna do it with Sara. We're gonna make this very easy since everyone else seems to be driving. And so Sara, come on the big screen. You get to spin the wheel.
You want me on the big screen and to spin the wheel?
Yep,
No,
you get to do both. And by the way, this is like revenge. For those that don't know, Dr. B loves giving Sara a hard time when she's trying to resolve a conflict. So Sarah's been waiting for this moment. And the category is...
Why is there a single sock in the living room?
A single sock. So this is not a married sock. This is a single sock.
sad sock?
Yes, it's so lonely. So that we have the rules of the game. For those of you that are new to the game, Sara, let's go ahead and take the wheel off. This is resolving it after the fight. That's what this is all about. So like this issue came up and we're going to talk about it after it's already happened. We're processing what occurred. And so Dr. B, you come in, you see this. Actually, you know what? We're going to change this up. We're going to have a little bit of fun with you. Sara's pissed.
Ooh,
This is the 3,152nd time that you've left the same sock in the same place.
Oh no, not the pink
And
one.
she is so tired of seeing this. And she got so mad at you last night about this sock. And now you get to resolve how you felt about that. And you're going to get a full 3 minutes.
Am I just being harder on Brian, or am I going to be?
You can be whatever you want to be, Sara. Yeah, she's excited now.
Unleash the animal.
All right. Yeah, it's payback time. We need like a little pop-up. It's payback Friday. All right.
We got to get a little lights, camera, action. You know, the little director cut thing.
Yeah, we'll do that next time.
All
This
right.
thing needs to be live. This is amazing, guys.
And 3, 2, 1, action.
Oh wow. Yeah, honey. So
Honey? You want to call me honey?
yeah. I noticed something in the living room.
I don't know what's funny.
Everything's funny to me.
I'm not laughing.
I can tell. You mad about the sock?
Oh my God.
You're mad about the sock, I'm thinking.
I think I made it pretty clear last night.
Yeah. But that's a magic sock. And it somehow escapes all of the load. No, there's no laughing here. It's not funny. All the loads of laundry, somehow it makes it out of the dryer. It escapes the dryer monster and gets into the living room every time. It seeks some sort of sanctuary in the living room. I don't know how it's doing by itself, but there it was.
Wow.
And
Way to take responsibility, Brian.
what
Wow,
do
the
you want
sock
me to
just
do?
walks away. It's gonna keep walking because that's the conversation last night. It's just that it
I
keeps
know.
doing it by itself.
I know. I know. Well, I guess what what do you think would be the best way to handle this?
Okay, seriously, you always come to me for the solutions. Like, can I just for once be the one that just sits on the couch and just, can you lead? I would love for you to just make a choice and say, this is what I'm going to do. I've told you the problem. I
Mm.
told you how much I hate it. If we have guests over, like I have to move your sock. I don't know if it's clean, if it's dirty, and explain why there's a random sock right where they're going to sit down. And it it's not the first time, Brian. Like I seriously, the first time it happened, I was like, okay, not a big deal. But then by the 100th time, and then by the 1000th time, like I feel like you just don't even listen to me.
Yeah, I can understand those feelings. What if I put eyes on the sock? Would that help a little bit? Just like eyes and a mouth, we can make a puppet out of it.
I love you.
Love you
And
too.
I love that you always try to make me laugh, but I would love for this sock thing to be resolved. Like it drives me nuts. Don't make a joke.
Oh, no, no jokes at all. I'll find a sanctuary. I will do this for you, honey. I will find a sanctuary for that sock. Maybe I'll find a little hook on the wall so he can live there. I don't know how he keeps escaping the dryer monster, but he does. And
So it
I'll
doesn't
find a
matter to
spot
you.
for him.
Okay.
Oh my gosh, you guys are hilarious.
So hard to be mad at this guy.
You look like you made it super easy.
At first, but with eyes. He broke you when he brought it on the eyes. That was hilarious, guys. So I don't even know how to rate this though. So this is gonna be interesting.
Let me say one thing is that there you know I've said before that trying to make a joke is part of my compulsions.
Yeah.
I think this is actually an appropriate time to try and create levity first to lighten the situation and then to try and take it seriously. So I would have done that anyway, and still tried to take her seriously. I don't know if I would have been so accommodating. I'll just find a spot for it. I promise, honey. Yes, dear.
Well, let's find out.
We'll find out. Well, let's hear from you, Dr. Brian. So what was your experience of this of Sarah? No, of this fight.
Sarah is really nice for angry. That,
Good practice.
I've really experienced some nasty people in life because I would have been like, yes, dear. Yeah, I just absolutely would have come out as yes, dear, first time. But my experience was that she is serious, but I don't feel like that real frustration, that real anger in it. And really, this was great. I mean, you were expressing your feelings. So in doing it the wrong way, if we were to look at it as not our method, is like you expressed your feelings clearly, and I want to give you credit for that.
Do you feel like the conflict was resolved for you, Dr. Brian?
Not even a little bit. Nope.
Yeah.
I just put it off. I look at that. It went that way. I don't know. I was over here. I don't know.
So what would you score yourself?
Oh gosh. As you know, that idea of responsibility, I think this is IR response. I totally irresponsible and going, yeah. I'll find a place for it. I'll make a joke out of this. And no, irresponsible. I give myself a 3.
A 3. Awesome.
All right.
You're very generous. Sarah.
So what was great? What could be even better, and a score for Dr. Brian?
So if the goal was to resolve how the conflict was after I expressed my feelings, I would give it a 0.
Okay. What was great though? Let's go with what was great.
There'd have to be something great for me to give it a 1 or so.
Well, there's always something.
There's always
great.
something great.
Man, you're gonna make me think, Brian.
Yeah, take out the mommy
Like
dearest hand out.
sometimes like even being able to create a smile in a tense situation, even if we don't want to smile.
Yeah. I think if there was that much tension over it, then creating the humor allowed for us to just have a conversation. So maybe this would be like the before, and then there would be space to then have it. So, maybe that was the best thing to do because it was just awful last night. And it was
Great.
just a sock.
I know.
So
I didn't
let's
like
just
sleeping on the couch either.
I know we have a lot of feedback. Let's just give them one thing that could be better.
I have a list. One thing that could be better, just maybe like a tiny little, I hear you. I just wanted to connect with you. I hear you. I love your smile. I hear you. I just like it when you laugh. And then just keep the levity going, but then saying something, even if you're not hearing me, but just saying you're here.
Yeah, this is great. And by the way, I want to make sure the group knows we do this intentionally. And Brian did a great job because this is pretty close, right, Brian, to how you would have resolved it in the past. I mean, we still have some of these patterns, which is also why I made it extra challenging right before we put you on the spotlight. You're welcome.
Dude,
So
there's a basket of singles in the living room right now. So I was like, this'll be great.
This is awesome. All right, let's bring up. Who are we bringing up?
Let's
We're
bring
bringing
up
up
Katie.
Katie.
Oh. You come, Katie.
Okay. Hi.
Hi. So, Katie, what was great? What could be even better? And a score 1 to 10 for Dr. Brian.
Okay, for Dr. Brian, I love that he brought brevity to the situation because there's just some things that are incessant and it's like the faucet leaking like one drip at a time and you just can't get it right to turn it off, right? So to actually bring brevity opens up a opportunity for conversation in a different direction. So it's sort of a pivot, right? So that's what I thought was great by Dr. Brian. And then what's next?
What could be even better?
What could be even better? Common ground there, except she actually gave him the bone. She was like, oh, way to take responsibility. So in a conversation, when your partner gives you a bone like that, you have to kind of probably turn it around and take that responsibility. Yeah.
Yes, outstanding. What would you give them for a score? 0 to 10.
0 to 10. Well, I just thought it was funny. So this was it's hard to separate it from, well, this was entertainment. They actually solved it. Like actually solving the problem between the two of them, that probably would have been a really cold day for that couple in that house for real. So it probably would have been a 3 on like what the two of them actually got to experience that day. But for comedy, I'd give it like a 6 or a 7.
It was very entertaining. Awesome. Thank you, Katie. And who are you bringing up next?
One more. Let's do Mo.
Yeah, let's get a man's feedback.
Ooh, yeah.
Big Mo, let's give Dr. B some feedback.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
We can.
What is great? Let's start with that.
What is great? I like when you started it off with honey.
Yeah, that was great.
Because it was very sarcastic. I thought. So I think humor is really good, but it doesn't work in conflict, in our world. So I would have to say that really doesn't land. I just noticed resistance, and that's my mirror, of course. And resistance is something that just doesn't work at all. But however, I work hard not to resist openly. So but I notice it. So I think that's something that just kind of puts off the other person. And then responsibility.
Yes. No, I totally agree.
Then the famous "Is there more?" Sentence, or word, is there 3 words? Is there more? That kind of that may lighten the load a little bit.
Yes.
The honey, yeah, the honey actually breaks the state. Actually, that very first, that's straight out of Tony's game, like playbook for couple conflict resolution would be to lead with the like Tony and Sage use pet names all the time. So I was at the start of Tony's relationship program. I built it with Tony and Sage, and actually breaking the state using that pet name actually is like their square one from back in the day, if that helps.
I like the fact that you bring that up because Rhonda doesn't have a pet name for me. It's only been 10 years, so I'm waiting.
Yeah. She has
Take your
names
time.
for you. Don't worry about that.
It's funny. I dated a musician once and I was like, what's my song? And it was about like 4 years later. I was like, I don't have a song. Like this person had a song. That person had a song.
Oh, that's funny.
Rhonda, go brainstorm names.
Did you get a song after the breakup, Katie?
Pardon?
Did you get a song after the breakup?
Yeah, he sent me lists and lists and lists. And I was like, dude, like that was daylight dollar short.
So he's just a little bit more like Taylor Swift. All right. Hey, Mo, so what would you give Brian for a score on conflict resolution specifically? Negative 10 to 10.
No, yeah.
It was low. 1, he spoke.
He spoke. That is, yes. Awesome. Mo, thank you for that. And all right, so let's get a little feedback from Miss Annie next.
What I thought was great was there was a moment, if you recall, Dr. Brian, where you almost broke her with humor. And it was the eyes.
It was the eyes on the sock.
Yeah, should I put little eyes and little like a little mouth there? And I was just watching Sarah like that. It almost broke. So, sometimes the humor does serve as the pattern interrupt. It's not the constant, right?
No.
But there's that opportunity. I think when you do really leverage all these different aspects of the conflict resolution, the humor will be so powerful to just break someone's state. And it's hard to stay mad with all the pieces in order. And what I think could be even better, one of the things that comes up is how do you be with someone's feelings and just experience it as she would, of course.
Right.
And so I would give you a 1.
Yeah. So, pure entertainment. That's what was great. It was, in particular, just the way you two interacted. And Brian, you knew you were walking into the gauntlet with Sara coming on screen with you. She owed you. So that made it extra fun. What could be even better? Acknowledging what happened, right? What actually occurred? What's the real problem, right? It's not about the sock. Can we stop talking about the sock? It's not really about the sock. So getting down to the core issue, making it clear, putting a big old spotlight on it, and it's this big acknowledgement of what she might be feeling could be useful. And you might remember that, and by the way, so I'll give you a 2, but that's because it was very entertaining. You might remember I told you a story after UPW in November.
Oh.
Do you remember that story? The crying on the couch after walking home, and I did something my story.
Oh, right.
You remember what I said that did not work, and then how I dealt with that situation.
I think
Okay,
we're talking Sara right now.
We're on Facebook Live, but I said
Okay,
something very inappropriate in an IHOP in front of friends and did not know it was going to be an issue until much, much, much later. I thought it was like not even a big deal, right? Didn't even think about it. But it was like 12 hours later.
It's not 12 hours later.
It was after UPW, so it was at least 12 hours. Yeah, I'm sure it was. And I think we had Dickens process or something that night. So that was extra fun. Anyway, and then I said something even more stupid, what I thought. I tried to correct Annie's experience about what she was sharing with me. And then we get home and I was beating the crap out of myself because I corrected her. And it was like this 2-mile walk. It gets longer every time I tell the story. Pretty soon it's gonna be a marathon. Anyway, so it's 2 mile walk. And we get home and I'm thinking, God, I hope this doesn't come up. I hope it doesn't come up. I hope it doesn't come up. And she goes, I'm going to take a shower. I said, oh my God, I'm safe. So I'm vegging out on this couch. And she comes and she puts her head on my shoulder. I look down, she's crying. And I think, wow, what's going on? So I just asked. So I think, obviously, it's about the thing I said on the way home where I corrected her. And she looked at me and she said, why did you say that at IHOP? And like, it was really bad. I cannot even say it on this. Like, it was that bad. And I look at her. I said, baby, I am so sorry. You know what? I would never intentionally say something so inconsiderate in front of you. In that very moment, I was trying to be funny for my friends and didn't consider you. I didn't think about you. I didn't think about how you might feel about this situation and about what I said. And unfortunately, I can't even promise that I won't do it again because I do stupid things. I say stupid things in trying to be funny, not in trying to hurt someone's feelings, because that's just not who I am. I'll do my best, and I can't promise perfection. Something to that effect. And these tears. So see, Sarah, notice Sarah, like, she's like, whoa, this is kind of good, right? So this is a little bit different than the rapid repair method that we're going to talk about. But like, her tears evaporated in this moment. And she looked at me, she said, we should have recorded that. Like, that's exactly how men need to apologize. If men just knew how to do that, like, whew, there would be no.
Because, you know, I thought I would want a resolution, kind of like what Sarah was saying. I just want to fix the sock thing so it never happens again. I thought that's what I wanted. And what I received was, I can't promise I won't do this again, which is totally the opposite. But the feeling of being heard was so important that it just made everything better. It's very counterintuitive to me.
Yeah. And then she started crying again.
That wasn't done.
She wasn't done. She had to get the rest of her energy out. So what I'd offer to anyone watching this now or later is that sometimes there's different systems. And I just gave you a new system that, you know, I'll write this down for all of you. But what it really is responsibility. And that's what Sarah gave you the clue that she was really looking for, is just for, you know what, I get it. I can't even imagine how frustrating it is to see the same sock in the same place every other day for the last 10 years. And acknowledge it. And man, I would probably be frustrated too if you keep bringing this up. And candidly, I don't even know how I keep doing it so effectively. I wish I was this effective everywhere. And now, like, oh, see, like, that would work, right? Because now I'm bringing in some humor into it as well. Yeah. Now I just broke the pattern. And at the same time, sweetie, I'd like to talk a little bit more about what happened as a result. Would it be okay if we just talk about the angry pattern that we had last night that doesn't work for us? And now I'm into the rapid repair method because now I fully acknowledge where she's at. I've got permission and I can share what's going on for me. So last night, when we were talking, we got pretty loud, right? And I was feeling, frankly, a little scared. I was also feeling mad because I was making up this story that you didn't love me all of a sudden because of a sock. And I know it's not true. I know really you're just frustrated with the sock because you do so much around this house. And I know you love me. You do all of these different things. You do the laundry and you're really just asking for this help with the sock. And what I really ask of you is for us to have a conversation without anger. It's okay to express. I would just love to have a connection on this. And then also maybe for us to laugh once in a while when I do some silly stuff. Would that work for you? Right? And then we can work it out from there. And notice, see, I can work into the structure now that she feels heard. So Sarah, I'm just curious. I know that was a very abbreviated version, but how would that work for you to start with that structure of making sure you're heard first?
Yeah, I think that would be the best way to calm me down.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think
instead of saying, just calm down. That may not work.
Yes. It's the almost like the next level of the pre-frame, you know, because this gets the other person into state to be open to listening. Generally, it's, you know, I don't need to, it's really to provide safety. And in this case, it's a little bit more tense. And so it requires a different method to get her to open.
That's exactly right. It's just a different pre-frame. Okay. So with that, we gave you the structure, and the structure is pre-frame, experience, like here's the facts of what actually occurred, feelings, so just express our emotion, try to keep it simple, that way men understand them, sad, mad, scared, happy, excited, right? And then the story, and then what do you got? Oh, and I know that's not true, so the truth about what actually happened, and then the request, FFSTR. So you guys can figure out what FFS stands for, and then you can make up your own TR. So have a little bit of fun with that in my own mind. So with that, we're going to do it again. And Brian, we'll see how you do this time now that you have a little bit of a structure. Let's go ahead, and because this is an extra complicated one, let's go ahead and give them 3 minutes. So you get an extra minute. We usually do 2 minutes, but you get a full 3 minutes on this one, Brian. All right, you ready? Get into state first. What state's going to be helpful? Be love. Be love. All right, let's do it, brother.
3, 2, 1, action.
Hi, honey.
Hi.
Hi. I came downstairs today and had a little experience. I was wondering if it'd be okay if we were to talk about something I kind of need to get off my chest a little bit. Would that be all right?
Go ahead.
Thanks. I appreciate it. So I come downstairs and I head into the living room and I froze. I saw a sock, a single sock, sitting in the middle of the floor. Now, that by itself wouldn't mean anything, except I know you hate that. And what came up for me was some of the stuff, it kind of triggered a lot of things internally, like getting 97 on an exam and where are the other 3 points? Like, I'm just going to be criticized for being a slob again. I'm lazy. I'm not going to pick it up. And there's more that I go through. And so I froze. And I know I didn't move it. I know I kind of left it there. I also kind of deal with these feelings of being the pack mule for the family. I'm always trying to clean up. Well, the story I get is that you're going to attack me, that you're just going to criticize me and let me have it and nag me. Nagging is so bad. Oh, boy. And the thing is, I know that's not true. I know that you love me. I know that you want us both to succeed as parents, as adults. And I know how much work you put into keeping the house clean. The last thing you need. I mean, you got the corners all cleaned. You vacuumed the windowsill where the paint just done. You vacuum that. You get the corners of the thing. You do not need one sock. Even if I put eyes and a mouth on it, you still don't need that sock sitting in the middle of the living room. And so, look, it may happen again. I may not catch that sock the next time I bring the laundry upstairs, and it may be downstairs when I get there, and I'll probably go through this whole thing. I know you love me. I'm sorry about the sock being in the living room, and I will try harder to just pick it up and move it along. Would you do that for me?
Well,
Right. Well, let's see how that went. So Brian, how did it feel for you first off?
It felt great to be able to talk about some of the things that I go through when I know there's going to be a fight about it. So I was able to say, look, this is what happens for me. And I know none of that's true. And you put so much effort into cleaning. Like that little stack right there, I really had a good time being able to release.
So I'm curious, do you feel like it's resolved within you?
Almost, because I didn't get to do the ask.
Yeah. Energetically, did it feel
Energetically.
released?
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is the beauty of the system, is that when we process it, especially when we say, you know, and I know that's not true, we're now going to access memories that actually relate to how you know it's not true and how much you love this person loves you. And often it gets resolved without even a request. So, Sarah, what was great about
Cry baby.
Everything.
that?
Yeah, it was amazing because I think it's a common pattern that I just heard this recently that most of the women we don't appreciate all the things that the guys do. And maybe we're just focusing on the few things that they don't do right.
That's beautiful. I noticed that because when he started sharing vulnerably, he took the energy out of the situation. And what I noticed, there's a moment all of a sudden you got very connected and just seeing him. And I also noticed you didn't say anything after he got vulnerable, not a word. It was just listening and presence. And we could see your energy. It was just beautiful. So, what score would you like to give Dr. Brian this time?
A 10.
Oh,
Wow.
wow.
What a switch. That's amazing.
Let's bring up Rhonda. Rhonda's on her walk. Rhonda, what was great?
What was great is, he was taking some responsibility. He kind of asked, if she was okay with having the conversation, and that's brave in and of itself, especially if it's after having a conflict. I think it's super easy to just avoid. So coming at it and then just reassuring her that it was a story, but then also being vulnerable and sharing what the story is. Because sometimes I think our men are so tough that it's like they don't want to let that guard down. So being very vulnerable to let her know what goes on in his head, and how recognizing I left the sock again or whatever, that it just causes other things to stack in his mind. So that was great. I would imagine that in a normal situation, there would have been time for her to respond in some way and for him to make a request. So I'm not sure that it would have been resolved for me without being able to respond. But yeah, it was a great turnaround, and he still was able to put a little bit of humor in there, which that's him being his authentic self. So
Score.
It was
What'd
great.
you give him?
I would give him an 8.5.
8.5. All right.
And by the way, Rhonda's the Russian judge, mostly because she's Russian.
She's always Russian.
That's and so shall we do one more? Let's go to
Let's do Katie.
Katie. Katie, what was great this time?
Well, it was great this time. So he followed the pattern. So he led with a pattern interrupt still. And I guess I want to qualify that it can't be like a term of endearment you only use when you're in trouble. So you have to have a term of endearment that has as much good time as it does all the other time. Right. So led with the pattern interrupt, went straight into acknowledging her feelings, and then let her see into where he is with those pieces, right? So let her see on the inside. So which totally cracked her. Like she was crying on the other side, right? So, and it's actually true of that's scientifically proven. We actually all look at the negative more than we look at the positive, and hold on to the negative more than we do the positive. I can't remember the percentages right now, but it's, you know, one of those sad, bittersweet facts of humanity, right? And then he wrapped it up. He went in the right pattern. He wrapped it up and even had the ask at the end, which, so my background's marketing. So CDA always wraps it up in a neat bow, right? So it was great. Well played.
Katie, what score would you give Dr. Brian?
I would give him, yeah, am I going too high? Yeah, like 8. Yeah, exactly. 8.
I love it.
Amazing.
Let's get Mo's feedback also.
Mo, you're up.
I knew I wasn't going to be able to duck this. So I took copious notes. I think as a man, it lands, for me, it landed very differently. I mean, first thing he did is he acknowledged that there was an issue that needed to be discussed, as opposed to avoiding. And then he softened her up by really showing true appreciation. And I don't mean that in a negative way, but he just acknowledged who she is and what she brings to the table. As a man, we men know that appreciation is my language. So, you know, I don't need gifts or anything else. It's just acknowledging what I do is valuable. So that's big points for me. And then 3, you know, I don't do this intentionally to hurt you. That's another big sentence after you soften them up, you know, just really show appreciation. But I did do this, and, you know, but I don't do it on purpose, and, you know, to aggravate. So that's important. And then, you know, and I'm not saying that it can't happen again. However, I'll do the best I can. So, I mean, that's a 10. That's just,
wow.
that covers all the bases in my world.
I love it. What a great score, Dr. Brian. What a turnaround. This is amazing. Let's hear ours. Yeah.
One of the themes that comes up is how powerful the vulnerability is, Dr. Brian. It reminds me of what they say of seek to understand first before wanting to be understood. And I could really see it work in this situation, because the moment that you got to the acknowledgement, everything shifted. The energy shifted. She softened. She was not like no longer trying to like fight you in her expression, right? And it was way more effective after that. And I think whatever you had said, or whatever you were going to say after you acknowledged her, she could actually listen to you without that guard. So I would give this a 10, because I think you hit the main point. You know, it was very powerful. And I think just by her feedback, obviously, it worked.
You know, Dr. Brian, you used one of the most powerful tools in influence, and it's just acknowledgement. Right? It's such a powerful tool, because she finally felt seen for what was really happening within her and the frustration that she was feeling. And then also the second one would be vulnerability. Like, these two tools put together are extraordinary. And it was just real for you also. You connected with her at her heart. You were very present with her, even as you're talking. And this is what gets to happen as we run these calls over and over and over, because you've been here for, gosh, I think, Dr. Brian, you've been here for just about a year now that you've been hanging out with us.
Yeah, man.
Right? Yeah. And so you've been able to practice and practice and practice. And this is what happens. You have access to it. And I know the first one was you were having some fun with it. And also it's a little bit awkward at first, because we made this a pretty challenging one for you. We usually don't make them that difficult. It's like, okay, you make up the story about the sock, but we painted an extra hard picture for Sarah's benefit and ours.
Advanced.
Yeah, that was the advanced one.
The advanced level.
So your second handling was stellar. I'll give it a 9.5. I think there's the one room for improvement is the timing, just getting to the request, and perhaps shortening the story to getting to the and the truth is, right, a little bit quicker, because sometimes the story stacks and then we have to undo the stack. The taller the story stack, the more effort it takes to get to the facts, the logic of why that's not true, because now I'm trying to take down multiple issues. So getting to the core is so powerful. So great job, both of you. And boy, what fun it is having you on here. Yes, round of applause for Dr. Brian. Oh, and you know what? I got to give Sara a score too. Sara, that was a freaking 10 out of 10 on both of them.
All the way through.
The whole way through was great. It was so authentic. I could actually, I could imagine seeing these fights between you and your partner in the past. Like,
I think really the key is you just got to put on your Vegas hat. It puts you into a different mode.
Yeah. I could see her next time turning the hat backwards for the first round.
I mean, this is what happens when you're in Vegas. Those that have been in Vegas, they know.
Yes, it is, right? That's a very special gift too, so we know that.
So thank you both.
Yes, thank you both for being on. Now, we do this show every single Friday, 6 a.m. And if you want to be featured on the show, just send us a direct message. We'd love to feature you. We'll get on a quick phone call. We'll actually get your bio and we will do an introduction for you and have a little bit of fun with it. So with Dr. Brian, we let him do his so he can get the practice. Someday he's going to be hosting his own show like this, right, Dr. B? And anyway, with that, join the next show. Have a little bit of fun with us. Thank you so much for being here, and we will see you next week.
Thank
Take
you.
care, everyone.
Great job.